If our cities function, it's because of a class of workers that are almost hidden. Cleaners, carers, security guards, all making their way to workplaces in the early hours. They are the lowest paid in society, yet among the most crucial. The NHS wouldn't survive without them. And as the country grapples with coronavirus, more than ever we need to ask, what happens when these workers get ill?
One time, a patient asked me, why did I come to work sick? I had to explain, unfortunately, we're not paid if we stay at home, and I can't afford that being on minimum wage.
In an exclusive for Channel 4 News, the GMB union surveyed cleaners, porters and security guards employed by contractors for the NHS. 78% said they're entitled to no pay at all for the first 3 days they're off sick. And after that, they only get the statutory payment of £94 a week. As a result, 77% said they'd come into work unwell to avoid losing pay. Annetta was one of those. Until recently, she worked at an NHS hospital where her duties included serving meals and caring for patients. Now she wants to raise the alarm, believing patients are being put at risk. We're protecting her identity, so her words are spoken by an actor.
I was working in the maternity ward. The ladies there were giving birth, and they're more vulnerable than any of us. They were asking me, why are you coming into work if you're feeling sick? So I had to prepare myself not to sneeze or cough. I was hiding my sickness. I was really struggling. Most of my colleagues were coming in sick as well.
Tens of thousands of people working in hospitals are employed by private contractors. Up to 40% of NHS trusts in England use them. We contacted 8 major contractors working in the NHS. 50% of them told us they only pay out the legal minimum of sick pay to some of their workers.
I was talking to my managers. I was telling them I'm sneezing, I'm coughing. And basically they were telling us they can't do anything about it because of the terms and conditions. If you sign it, you have to work. Because you signed a contract and the contract says you don't have sick pay.
The idea of workers coming into hospitals sick may seem especially alarming while the country's worried about coronavirus. But for some, it's long been a struggle. Channel 4 News has learnt of at least 6 cases in London hospitals where a contract worker with cancer was told they're not entitled to sick pay. And the problem goes beyond hospitals too. Security guards at St George's University in South London have been repeatedly taking strike action. They're just some of the employees on low wages in various industries fighting for full sick pay.
We don't want to strike, but we've had no option.
And their supporters on the picket line include the rapper Drill Minister. The university directed us to the contractor who employs the security guards here, Bidves Noonan, who told us, we are an award-winning service provider with a long track record in looking after our people and are statutory compliant. The union representing the security guards argue it's one example of many where a company is making financial savings at a human cost.
We have case after case after case of, be it cleaners, security guards, caterers, waiters, porters in hospitals that are transporting patients from surgeries to recovery rooms. And they are going into work with flu, with germs, or in more severe cases with actual broken bones. Sometimes we've seen workers going to work with broken bones.
Some of the employers would argue that if they paid out sick pay in the way that you're advocating, they'd go bust.
Every worker should be able to afford to get ill, and millions of workers in the UK today simply can't afford to get ill. And it's not fair that workers should be having their wages cut from day one of illness when companies can afford to pay it.
Cleaners at the building where Channel 4 News is made are also seeking sick pay. We've contacted the contractor who employs them for a response and have yet to hear back. The government says sick pay remains at the discretion of employers, and anyone not eligible can claim universal credit if forced to stay at home by coronavirus. But the epidemic exposes how so many low-paid workers, especially in the NHS, feel they can't afford not to go into work. And that could make containing the spread of the virus more difficult.